Hey, this is part of the series of testing I'm doing for creating YouTube videos. The first and foremost thing is I want to talk right now is about what we are going to see the next few months, especially if you're in the United States or in North America, when you're hooked to many of the social media platforms. The elections in America take a center stage now that the Republican convention is on. I want everyone to remember this that you are the biggest X factor in your life. Political policy is important. All those things are important. I'm not diminishing the importance of it. But the most important thing is you are the biggest X factor of your life. And in this age of illusion and distraction, having a grounding within yourself and a healthy disdain for noise is a good thing. Because for the next 100 days, you could be working on things, on your hobbies, yourself, your favorite projects, your pending things, your home, your room, your channel, many of these things. Or you can waste a lot of time arguing on interwebs about a lot of things. I'm not here to convince you to vote for one politician or the other. It's up to you. Each of us think differently. Each of us have different priorities and value systems. Even though there is an enormous overlap, our priorities tend to be different, our personalities tend to be different, our tribes tend to be different. And in our own realm, we are the reasonable people, and the other side is not. But that's okay. That's life. That's human nature to an extent. But getting too much tribal, getting too much distracted from one's own is very dangerous. We should not be the effect. We should be the cause. We should be the person who is creating the change within our own lives, around ourselves. Because the most important question is if you had only 100 days, if you had only till November 8th to live, how would you live? Would you ruminate on the politics of the day? Would you ruminate on other things, the movie reviews or cultural tastemakers? Or would you do what is most important for yourself and people around you and your community and even to your country? What is the most important basic things that you really want to do and you only have 100 days to do it? What would you do? How would you do? And why would you do it? I think we should all treat this election cycle that we only have 100 days left. We only have till November 8th to do something so that we don't get distracted. Another hot news take or analysis or breaking news is not going to disturb your day, distort you, and put you in a doom loop of browsing, dopamine hunting, and all the things. We have ancient brains, medieval institutions, and godlike technology. I think one of the books I read, Technopoly, is the name of the book. I'm mostly an audio book listener, but time to time I make it a point to read some pages. When I actually buy a book, I really prefer, if I can, get the Kindle edition, the paper edition, and the audiobook so that I go through all the three different formats simultaneously or separately, especially in the book format, so that it's much easier to reference. Especially if it's a Kindle, you can access it from any device, but the paper format is for those times when you don't want to be on the internet and just want to have that moment of solitude with yourself and the book. So there are advantages with each format. Especially when I'm walking, I prefer the audiobook format. The previous year's audiobooks were the center of my life in such a way that I prefer that because taking long walks, listening to an audiobook is probably the most meditative thing. It's not probably, it is the most meditative thing I've done thus far. I plan to meditate every day for 1 hour, but that's a side point. Walking slowly is also meditative. Walking around, looking at the greenery during the summer, looking at the trees, even when the leaves have fallen during the winter, is good and soothing for us human beings because ancient brains. But so many people exploit these ancient brains to their advantage. They create this disturbances into your life in the form of news, in the form of something else, in the form of some outrage, uh, a TikTok video, a clickbait Twitter post. This is where a concerted effort has to be made that we are master of our tools. We're not tools to the technology. And it is hard. It is hard because many of these things come with such a great upside that the downside is the price we pay with time, which means life. And it is a struggle everybody goes through in this modern world, me being not an exception to it either. But we should master this. At least this generation, we should really know how to master things. What is a code of conduct? What is a ritual? Because technology is the new religion. It has become the new religion. You see all these electronics review channels. I know I have done myself, spending hours and hours and hours on what kind of computer should I buy? What GPU should I buy? Hey, what kind of phone should I buy? Reviews and reviews. Of course, I went to the other extreme to an extent of what kind of CPU should I buy and learning about it, which is a very building my own desktop. I've never done it by myself, but it is something on my to-do list. Building your own desktop from ground up, I think, is a very satisfying experience when you do it. But I have done not as close, something close enough, upgrading an older system with a new GPU, new memory, new SSD, and things like that. Never replace the CPU. That's one thing to think about. But we have to make it a point to master the technology and the tools. Otherwise, we will remain forever slaves, forever at effect, not the cause, but at effect of our lives, because we spent more and more and more and more of our time on this la la land called interwebs. There's so many great things that I could not have learned in the pre-internet era, at pre-YouTube era, that I've come to know. So many things that I got exposed to, so many interesting ideas, so many talks, so many educated videos, so much entertainment. Of course, a lot of it is entertainment. To be told, most of the education videos are entertainment masquerading as education. What is the right way? Well, how should we proceed? I know Kyle Newport has all this deep work concept, which is very good and interesting. But productivity for what? What is the essence of this productivity? What kind of incremental or exponential changes that we have to bring into our lives? There are so many gurus. I mean, like some people call it internet dads, but there are so many gurus upon gurus out there that are squeezing these lizard brains and squeezing, making you feel the pain. Feel the pain. And it will be only be relieved if you pay them a fee and subscribe their product and learn how to do things. And when you buy them, you end up with great disappointment. The product being nothing close to what was advertised. But they seek compliance, saying that, hey, we gave you this secret. Oh, we gave you all the secrets you didn't implement in your life, so you're at fault. All these things. That's why we need to master. We need to really master the tools. And we should be able to create the content. And we should take this healthy message that how can we master? What should we do towards it? One of the reasons I'm creating content is because I don't want to be consuming content as much. At the same point of time, be the cause, and affect people in the right direction, right path, right way. So I encourage everybody to start their YouTube channels, put it out there, at least as a system of record where you can go back 3, 5, 10 years from now and look back what you were thinking. Is it a vlog? Probably it's a vlog. But at the same point of time, to have an immediate impact, discuss the matters that are very important to you in a structure that you're telling yourself. Part of the reason for this content creation is self-amusement. Instead of letting somebody amuse me, I want to amuse myself enough so that still at cause for my life rather than in effect. Because most of the channels, I look back a little bit of video. Okay, military summary channel about Ukraine. Oh, Ukraine-Russia war. It was exciting. It was very exciting. You knew the positions, the strategy, the OSINT, all these things. For what? For what? I have not influenced the Ukraine war one wee bit. And it might have had massive effect in my life, but that's about it. What can I do about it? Nothing much. At the same point of time, burning 5 hours, 3 hours per day, trying to track, hey, where the tanks are, where the drones are, what is trying to blow up. It is absolute misallocation of life energy. Absolute total misallocation of life. To be informed is different from reading the news. Most of the current breaking news is a fog of war analysis. I think the best way to get informed is give things time, settle down, and let things crystallize. That's when you will see some closer to real picture. You're never going to get the real picture because the obfuscation has become such a big thing. Everybody obfuscates everything. Everybody hypes everything. They downplay many things. So we're not going to get anything real. I mean, even a thorough study that can take decades still can come, still can end with wrong conclusions. So that's why, again, you are the X factor of your life, the biggest X factor. And trying to consume enormous amounts of news, opinion, all these things are not the way to live because all the clickbaity articles, videos, they just put you in this unnecessary stress where you could have shared your own life energy and given the world something very beautiful. They're robbing your mental peace while putting you at stress and stopping you from sharing something beautiful, your life energy to the world. And that is what we have to stop. That's why I encourage people to do content creation for the next 100 days, 100 years, if possible. I think there seems to be some really good news about life extension. And we are hopeful there would be an upside to it. life extension. Ability to live another 50 years for me would be like fascinating. Of course, 50 quality years. That's more important. And we have to see. Hopefully it happens. And hopefully the outcome of it would be generally good for the world because of the crashing birth rates. Of course, again, like this goes back into the gerontocracy, all those kinds of very interesting arguments, but it's not about it. For the next 100 days, during this massive election cycle, where there will be cacophony of ideas and distractions and breaking news and all these things, I would be creating content about life's meaning and purpose, things that we can do to improve the things, situations, our relations, and everything that are close to us. Think big is good, but thinking micro, where you can be an immediate cause, is much more relevant, more than ever. And that, my friend, is what I intend to do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.